Hello, everyone. Welcome to my week 7 discussion for sport ethics. So for this week, we were supposed to argue if gender discrimination or racial discrimination was a more significant or larger issue. So since my last name starts with a C, I'm supposed to argue that gender discrimination is a more significant or larger issue than racial discrimination. So I put together a short presentation to go through. So gender discrimination, also known as sexual discrimination, is any action that specifically denies opportunities, privileges, or rewards to a person or group because of gender. So Title IX is also critical when it comes to gender discrimination. This is because Title IX was enacted to ensure that male and female student athletes are treated equally regarding access to facilities, coaching, quality of facilities, locker rooms, medical assistance, and more. So here are some examples of gender discrimination in sports. So differences in team publicity, medical trainers, facilities, travel, quality of facilities, scheduling, program funding, equipment access, the number of coaches, and the pay for coaches. So one of the most eye-opening examples of gender discrimination in sports occurred about a couple of years ago. So one of the most eye-opening examples of gender discrimination I can think of is when the NCAA provided the NCAA women's basketball teams a small set of dumbbells for the NCAA basketball tournament compared to the men's full weight room. So this was during the 2021 NCAA basketball tournaments. I think this was during the bubble when they still had the bubble. So on the left, you can see that's the men's weight room compared to the picture on the right. That's the female set of dumbbells. So there's a pretty big difference there. So there's also the differences in pay between male and female coaches. So coaches for men's athletic teams at the University of Richmond on average earned $79,320 more than coaches for women's teams in 2021. So there's also differences in pay between male and female athletes. So male athletes in basketball, golf, soccer, baseball, and tennis make anywhere from 15% to nearly 100% more than female athletes. So the average compensation for an NBA player is $10,776,383. The average compensation for a WNBA player is $113,295. This stands out, and this is one of the main reasons why I believe gender discrimination is more significant than racial discrimination. The salary differences between male and female professional basketball players is unacceptable. It wouldn't matter what race you are. If I'm a female athlete and I'm either African American or Caucasian, I'm still going to be making less than the male athletes. So there's also differences in facilities. So a number of female student athletes from the University of Oregon filed a Title IX lawsuit against the university. So the lawsuit basically alleges that the male athletes and teams at the University of Oregon are treated far better than the female teams. Some of the allegations in the lawsuit are that the University of Oregon has been depriving the female athletes of equal treatment and benefits, equal athletic financial aid, and equal opportunities to participate in violation of Title IX, adding that the school treats its varsity male athletes shockingly better than its varsity female student athletes. So one of these examples is the women's beach volleyball players had to practice in a public park where there were known drugs and sharp objects. And then there was one day where there was a deceased person, so they weren't even able to practice at all because they didn't have equal access to a facility like the men's teams would. So the summary, ultimately, the examples and statistics I provided make me believe that gender discrimination is a larger or more significant issue than racial discrimination in sports. I believe the example of the differences in quality facilities between the male and female weight rooms for the NCAA tournament shows that gender discrimination is a larger issue. This is because it wouldn't matter what race you are. If the female athlete is Caucasian or African American, they would still have a smaller weight room than the male athletes. I just want to thank all of you for listening to my presentation and hearing my references. I'll also put them within the discussion that I attach my references to. Thank you.